Yes, and Representative William O'Brien, thank you for joining us
Katie,
today.
thank you.
We're taking a start here now. It's been an exciting afternoon. We were downtown in GoLocal studio for live music at the lounge. But the big news, the URI win over Oklahoma in overtime.
Very big win.
I believe the representative caught some of the game. Did they look good?
Yes, they did. They did look good. Now let's hope they can beat two.
We'll see what happens in NCAAs. You can read all the coverage on GoLocal. But I wanted to have you on, Representative, today.
Yes.
Your introduction for legislation for a teacher's Bill of Rights. And let me talk a little bit. Lays out rights that will be afforded to teachers, such as having all teachers work in an environment free from bullying and harassment from administrators, students, parents, and other teachers. Talk with us about how you came to propose this piece of legislation.
Well, it's extremely critical that teachers feel that they have a welcoming environment to teach in. So many times that this in this day and age, teachers are being bullied by their own students, and they go for the administrators to help. And I'm talking about being threatened, literally being threatened, physically threatened, right? And they go to, oh, we can't really do anything, we didn't do anything, or she didn't do anything. This Bill of Rights gives teachers power, but it also gives everybody in the building power, because it doesn't just cover teachers, it covers administrators, social workers, everybody who works in that building. It covers secretaries, everybody.
So talk with us a little bit. Have you had discussions with the teachers' unions about this? They're there to protect teachers. Does this just take it that next step to codify protections?
Well, it takes it to the next step as far as the people of Rhode Island feel that teachers shouldn't be threatened. Students shouldn't be threatened. So it also cuts into bullying on bullying, student on student, teacher on teacher, administrator on administrator, superintendent on administrator. It cuts all levels. Everybody does not, like, for example, a teacher, if a principal is unhappy with a teacher, that principal should not be screaming at the teacher in the classroom. He doesn't expect us, or no one expects us as a teacher. I'm a teacher. No one expects us to be screaming at our students. You should not be screaming at your teachers. So what you expect of your students, you should also expect of your teachers. So if you're giving the same courtesy to your students, you're not yelling at them, you're just talking to them calmly. Why would you scream and yell at a teacher? Makes no sense to me as an administrator, as somebody who works with administrators. And again, 90% of administrators, maybe even 95, are very good working. They're educational leaders of the building, but some of them are bullies.
How many folks did you talk about this when you put this together? How much input did you get from folks in the education community?
Literally hundreds. That's why I'm a truancy officer in the city of Providence. I go from building to building. This has been a major problem in Providence. Teachers being suspended, 60, 70 this year, and all of them cleared, right? False allegations. Teachers should not be suspended when it is a false allegation, when there's nothing to back up the allegation. And this actually makes it a due process. So they have to do a due process before they suspend you.
Is this a result, would you say, everyone's concerned about students and student safeties, but has the pendulum swung too much to the power to students, to parents, with, as you say, not enough evidence to suspend teachers? We've seen these suspensions.
Yep.
Is there a need to bring it back to the middle and, as you said, evidence-based?
It has to be evidence-based. And that's exactly what the bill's about. Given rights, but it's not just for teachers. It's also for students. It covers students also. It covers principals also. It covers superintendents. It covers everybody in the educational system, because no one should be bullied.
So you've gotten input from educators, the education community. What have your discussions with colleagues been around this?
Very positive. When I put it up on Facebook, I had over, believe, in the two, because I also have a state rep page and my private page. I think it's over 200 comments.
200 comments.
All positive. Not one negative.
No negative. No one who says
no one so far. And I've read them all.
Do you expect that there might be? Do you think that there's people that say, well, why do we need a Bill of Rights? That's overreach. Would there be any argument for overreach?
I feel that this is not overreach, that superintendents want directives. They want clear, precise directives. This gives the precise directives of what's tolerated and what's not tolerated. And I'm assuming you read it. There's nothing in there that's crazy. It's all about respect, and that this bill gives respect to everybody in the building, and that's what I'm shooting for.
So let's go through a few of the stipulations that you have in here as well, and provisions. Talk about teachers not being required to use personal out-of-pocket money to appropriately equip a classroom with supplies needed. How much do teachers feel that they need to dip into their pockets? We see it all the time in social media and in the classroom.
First of all, almost every teacher dips into their pockets, but it shouldn't be required. I always spent money on my kids. Pizza, like pictures, buying stuff, buying pencils. I always dipped in my pocket, but you shouldn't require that. And it said, oh, you have to have this, you have to have. No,
do you think
not unless
teachers feel that pressure?
Yes, in certain instances they do. And remember, first-year teachers don't make that much money, especially if they have a kid and a husband, or two kids.
Yes, so with lots of things, and we'll have the full language up when we put this on tomorrow. But let's talk a little bit as well. This is obviously high on your agenda, Representative, for this session. But talk with folks as we're on GoLocal Live here, your agenda for the 2018 session.
Well, we also want to clean up the teacher. Obviously, we want to pass the teacher bill of rights, but the dyslexia law we passed 2 years ago, we still want to push that in every district. We want to get every kid screened. We're looking to provide at least $100,000. I know it doesn't sound a lot, but $100,000. Rep. McAtee is actually the main sponsor of it.
Okay.
I'm number 2, and it's to help districts send their reading teachers to URI program that covers how to teach dyslexia children.
Excellent. So that's high on your agenda as well.
That's very high.
Any other education or non-education bills you want to discuss?
Well, I'm always willing to push anything. Education is very important.
Yes.
But the main thing in my district, I want to make sure that Kenny Marshall's bill that freezes the funding at current levels, that doesn't reduce any educational aid to my district or any district in the state of Rhode Island. That's so. As you would expect, my agenda goes around education.
Very education focused. And while I have you here, before I let you go, Rep, let's talk a little bit about school safety. It's clearly been in the news. We saw yesterday students walking out from Providence up here to the State House. Let's talk about proposals put forth in the Assembly. We had Greg Amori on a few weeks ago talking about the need for school resource officers in every school. Is that possible? Is it feasible? Or is the budgetary implications something of concern?
First of all, even in my district, we have about 4 offices in our Providence dedicated just for school security. I'm pretty sure that's the correct number.
Okay.
But we need more.
Yeah.
We need more during the school day. We need more. And it's unfortunate we need more, but society is just to the point that there's no one that can forget about rifles. Somebody walks in with a 9mm Beretta, you can do just as much damage as anything. So we need a police officer there
Can the state afford it? Where could this money come from? There would be a big dollar sign associated.
Well, remember, cities like Miami has a police force, a school police force.
Okay.
We're going to have to at least look seriously at having a school police force statewide, controlled by maybe the state police. But that's a discussion we have to start having, because no one can stop somebody from walking in with a gun. No one. If at least at the main points of entry, maybe have bullet resistant glass where they can't get through as much. I posted on my Facebook 3M resistant glass where they put a film over it. If you shoot, the bullets go through, but it takes the glass doesn't just explode. It takes them almost a minute to get through that obstacle, and seconds count. As long as you give somebody a warning, they can run away. If you shoot the glass and it just falls right away, there's no warning.
There's nothing you can do.
There's nothing you can do.
Well, school safety is high. Yep.
And according to information, it's you can do an elementary school for one of my elementary schools can be accomplished with the 3M about $2,000.
Okay.
So it's not expensive. It's not out of line.
Well, I'm sure we'll seek further conversations and debates pertaining to school safety moving forward. But again, wanted you here to talk about the school, the Teachers' Bill of Rights. I appreciate having you on today. We'll have you on soon. I'll let you go off to the races. Representative O'Brien, thank you so much.
Kate.
I'll let
Thank
you
you
go.
very much.
Don't go anywhere. We'll welcome our next guest, House Finance Chair Marvin Abney, here
Good luck.
to GoLocal Live. Don't go anywhere.